guys, it's time for another YouTube homework helper, and tonight we're going to work with mixed fractions on a number line. We've already worked with a number line before, but those were fractions under a value of 1. And now we're going to see what happens when we go over 1. So come on and join me. All right, at the top you see it says watch me. Underneath you see try this. So you're going to start watching me. The question says what fraction of the line is a red triangle? So I'm looking for the red triangle. I see my red triangle is right there. Now, we're going to use the same strategies that we used when we were trying to find a fraction under the value of 1. It's just going to change just a little bit because I can see right here I'm already dealing with a whole number 3. So I have to figure out in between here how many parts my line is being divided into before it reaches the next whole number 4. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, then I'm going to back it up and I'm going to say 4. This tells me I'm going to be putting this into 4 parts. All right, this is also 4. That's 3/4. This is 2/4. And this is 1/4. Now, I'm trying to figure out what the red triangle is. So I already see that it's 3 holes. So I know it's 3 holes. And now I'm going to add that extra part of the fraction on, which is 1/4. So I have 3 holes and 1/4 is my triangle. All right, I want you to try the next one. What fraction of the line is a green arrow? Use the same strategy that I did and come on back and we'll check it. Okay, let's see. You were looking for the green arrow. The green arrow is located right here. So the first thing that you'll want to do is it's 5 and something. It's 5 and something. All right, we just have to figure out what that something is. So in order to do that, we need to figure out, we're going to come between here and figure out how many parts that has been divided into. I'm going to start here at my snowman, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And when I get right here, I'm going to put this up top so you can see it better. This becomes 8/8 because it is a hole. All right, then I'm going back, and I know now that I'm going to have 8 parts. I'm going to go back and put 8 underneath each one of these. All right, there's an 8 and there's an 8. All right, and then I just come to the green arrow and say that was 5 and 6/8. How did you do? Did you get 5 and 6/8? I hope so. Let's try another one. This is a watch me. All right, what fraction of the line is a light bulb? So I'm looking for right here. All right, I need to go in between here to figure out how many parts my line has been divided into. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right, now I'm going to go back. And this is 9/9 because that's when that became a new hole. That also means that I have, 9 parts, okay? This is a 9, this is a 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, and 9. All right, so I'm looking for my light bulb. Now remember, it's 2 holes, so we have 2 holes. And then what we have in my light bulb is and 8/9. So 2 holes and 8/9. That's our mixed fraction. Time for you to try. What fraction of the line is a heart? Ooh, that's a tricky one. All right, pause the video and we'll come on back and check it together when you're ready. Okay, I gave you a hard one to start off with. All right, now my heart is over here, and that's what I'm looking for. All right, and it's not in between my 2 numbers. So this is what we're going to have to do. I need to figure out how many parts my line is divided into. So I see that I have 2 whole numbers here. This is a 1. I'm using the same strategy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What this tells me is that my part that it's divided into is 5. In my class, I call it the 5s family. We're in the 5s family. So everything in this line is going to have a 5 at the bottom because it's divided into 5 parts. So I go ahead and put my 5 underneath each part of the fraction. Now what this means is the light bulb is 7 1/5. The star is 7 2/5. All right, this is 7 3/5. This is 7 4/5. 7 5/5. And then when I get to that 5/5, that creates another whole, so that's 8. So I just simply repeat the pattern now. So this would make this 8, and this becomes 1/5, and this becomes 2/5. So I have 8 2/5 to be my heart. How'd you do on that one? That was tricky, wasn't it? All right, let's try another one. Watch me. All right, what fraction of the line is a heart? I like hearts, so we're always looking for what fraction of the line our heart is. All right, so here's the two numbers, the two whole numbers, so I can decide exactly what family I'm in or how many parts I'm working with. So 1, 2, and 3. So what I tell my class is we go back, and this becomes a 3 because that's a whole, or that's a one whole, and then I have a 3, I have a 3, and all right, I don't have anything there. All right, so I still, this was 2 1/3, 2 2/3, 2 3/3, which became my 3. So I have to figure out what my heart is. So I know it's 3 wholes because there's my whole right there. And then if I follow the pattern, if this was 2 1/3, then that becomes 3 1/3. So my heart is actually 3 1/3. Now, if I had something after, it would be 3 2/3, and then it would be 4, and then it would be 4 1/3, 4 2/3, and then when we got to that third part, it would become 5. All right, try the next one. What fraction of the line is a snowman? All right, try this one. Come on back, and we'll check it together. Okay. Let's see, my snowman is right here. It's after the number. So look, I can already tell that the snowman's going to be 3 and something. So I'm going to go ahead and put that 3 and something. So first thing I want to do is figure out, well, how many parts is my line divided into? So I like to put this little line here. Tell me that's what I'm dealing with. We'll change colors. And I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is divided into 5 parts. That means that that's going to be 5 parts. All right, I'm going to go backwards, 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 and backwards. So I see 2 1/5, 2 2/5, 2 3/5, 2 4/5. When I get to 2 5/5, that makes that one whole, which changed to 3. And that means that this line right here is going to be 1/5. That means our snowman is going to be 2/5. This line is going to be 3/5. And this line will be 4/5. So when I'm looking at what fraction of the line is my snowman, it's going to be 3 2/5. Did you get that? Hope so. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, guess what? This is a you try all by yourself this time. Pause the video, come on back, and we'll check it together. Okay, what fraction of the line is a star? All right, something inside there. Did you look and decide? I better check to see how many parts my line's in. Did you look and say, all right, it's going to be 1 and something because it's a mixed fraction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so I know this is going to be 7 parts. So I'm going to go backwards because 7 sevens created our new whole. Here's a 7, here's a 7, here's a 7, here's a 7, 7, 7, and it looks like my star was located at 1 2/7. Did you get that? I hope so. One last one for you. What fraction of the line is a smile? Okay, I see my smile over here. Ooh, and this one is tricky. Pause the video, see if you can get it, and I'll come back and check in with you in a few minutes. Okay, this one Which fraction is a smile? Now, I want you to notice something. The smile is over here. Notice that my whole number is a 7. All right. So I know it's not a 7. So I know it's going to have to be 6 something, right? Because I can't see it. And I see that things are in order. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So before the 7 would be a 6, right? So I know it's going to be 6 something, but I don't know how many these, how many parts they're divided into. So just like we did everything else, from the 7 to the 8 is from one whole number to another whole number. And I'm going to use the same strategy. So I have 1, and then when I get to the 8, it's a 2. Okay, then I go backwards. This becomes 2 because that's where it became a 1 whole, and this becomes a 2. All right, so let's see right here. Right here I have 7 and 1/2, and then it became something else, 8. So that would mean that this is 8 and 1/2, and this is a 9. This is 9 and 1/2, and a 10. 10 and 1/2, and 11. So if I go backwards, I know that it's 6 something, and I also know that the bottom number has to be a 2 because each part of the line is divided into 2 before it reaches a new whole number. And that would make this one right here a 1/2. So my smiley face is on 6 1/2. All right, I know I really stretched your brain at the end because that was a hard one. Keep working to get your brain stronger, and I truly do think you are terrific. Until next time, bye-bye.